There is only one thing that will get your ex to be motivated to see you again, want to talk to you again, and be with you again. And after doing thousands of consults and helping people get their exes back, it is this. When they feel nostalgic about the relationship and they start to miss the relationship. And now, I know this sounds obvious, so let me go into a few points of why I said this. So, what do most people do when they go through a breakup? They chase the dumpy, the person who gets dumped. They chase, they try to convince the person to work on things, which just puts more pressure on a person that has already been thinking about breaking up with you and already been thinking about separating from the relationship. And they've created this dream of being on their own for several weeks, if not months. And then you come along and you're like, no, let's work on it. All this does is it confuses them and actually gets them to push you further away so they can deal with that confusion and to deal with that emotion. Hurting you also isn't something they intentionally want to do for most people. Some people you guys are dating are definitely narcissists or something like that, but most people don't really want to hurt you. So when they've actually pulled the trigger on doing it, and then you try to convince them not to, they still have that feeling deep down inside, guys, that they don't want to be together, that they don't want to work on the relationship. They are in a neutral place about the relationship. And as soon as they break up with you, you're going to be in a heavy state of desire and fear and grief. And that's down here. So in order for your relationship to ever come back together, they need to come down on that scale. And that's when they start missing you because they get this big fear that they're going to lose you. And then you climb up this naturally because you start letting go of the need of the relationship and you start to feel comfortable being alone again. So what happens is you rise up here, they come down, and you guys kind of have this like close energetic meeting, sort of. I know this sounds weird. And that's your window of opportunity. That is when they miss you enough to be like, hey, look, you know what? Maybe I was a little bit hasty in breaking up with you. Maybe I was a little too quick to push you away. Maybe we should be together. And again, if you chase them, all you're going to do is you're going to push them further and further away from you because they've been dreaming about being single on their own without you for a while. They're attached to that dream now. Just like when they started to fall in love with you, they became attached to the relationship. We need them to be attached to the idea of a relationship again. And the only way to do that is for them to miss the relationship and, of course, to miss you enough. That means you got to do no contact or low contact. That's what you do when you have kids or if you have businesses together and stuff that you can't just separate, obligations to each other, of course. So that's what you guys do with that. And that is what motivates an ex to come back to you. They miss you enough, but I wanted to go into the psychology of why, okay? Because most people don't do everything I just told you. They chase, they beg, they pursue, they plead, and they do this so much that the ex is like, don't ever speak to me again. Restraining order, okay? So stick to that, guys. If you guys need help, just book a call.